more about themselves yesterday, so expect the results of this to be a little bit different. My name is Luke Crane, not Luke Cranes as it said there, but we'll take it, it's fine. Apologies for the delay over on YouTube and wherever you're watching around the world. Unfortunately, we had a fire for Felipe Fraga in the AF Course Ferrari, Red Bull Ferrari, a really bad fire. Thankfully he's fine, the car not so much, so that is why we had a little bit of a delay, but it means you get less of me talking waffle at the start and more car action. So out onto circuit we go. That's Matthias Salmen in the number 66, who very much impressed me yesterday, considering last season in the AMG was not really fighting for any massive results, if we're going to be completely honest, but yesterday looked looked really good at the sharp end of the grid and was battling for a top 5 for the most part. Fell off a little bit near the end, but ultimately is there or thereabouts. And that is the same for a very lot of cars. Lots and lots of drivers, lots and lots of cars, all battling for the same positions. The BOP has been slightly adjusted in the evening, which has made the BMWs apparently more favourable, and it has hurt the Toyota a little bit as well. So those are the two big changes. Yeah, there's nothing too technical I'm going to get involved with there. We'll see how it plays out, of course. Welcome to everybody watching at home. Let me know in the chat where you're watching from. You can absolutely get yourselves involved. I'll give you a shout out if you're watching over on YouTube. And also if you're watching on television around the world, or indeed anywhere else, you can tweet me at AcTrollVision or message me on Instagram if you have any questions. This could be during the weekend at any point, and I will try and answer your questions. I want to make sure that you're all comfortable and you just get to watch the racing action and be all excited, really, more than anything. There's the bird's eye view. What a view we have indeed. Almost as high up in the circuit as I am. There is Tim Heinemann then, who took the spoils yesterday. Maximum points. P1 in qualifying and P1 in the race. For Toyota Gazoo Racing Germany, powered by Ring Racing, the world's longest team name, we know that. We absolutely know that. Kashbar, how you doing? Welcome to the broadcast. Hope you are well. Sisfa, of course. Yes, DTM cars are cool. I'm not trying to change your mind. I don't need to. They are cool. You're from Texas. Jeet Patel, they're from Texas. Lovely. New Zealand, Germany. Papadopoulos has got a supporter then. Love to see that. Loads of Papadopoulos fans yesterday, to be fair. Tycor, I am wonderful. Thank you very much for asking. Really appreciate that. And if you're in the local area, ladies and gentlemen, come on down. Come on down. Why not? So as always in qualifying, the first sort of 10 minutes, half the grid go out, half the grid stay in the pits. Yesterday was a bit of an anomaly because Tim Heinemann, who normally waits for the first 10 minutes into the pits, went out first. And ultimately it worked out well for him. He did the whole 20-minute session. I guess he was just trying to figure a few things out. Well, he was 0.8 of a second, the best part of 0.8 of a second clear of everybody in qualifying. In the race, it was a lot closer. Vivacqua absolutely piled that pressure on. And I spoke to Tim yesterday, and he was on the limit for the entirety of the race. He was just putting qualifying lap in after qualifying lap. He did 4 fastest laps in the race yesterday, whilst Vivacqua did 3. They were trading fastest laps. It was brilliant to see. So the Brazilian Vivacqua is absolutely a challenger for this title already, in my opinion, and he's only had 1 race in the car. We're speaking to Ricky Capo this morning. Very excited he is. He said he found out so much about himself, he found out so much about the car. He didn't realize how aggressive people were going to be, but it was a very calculated aggression, something that he didn't really account for. He made 1 mistake, really, and ultimately cost him a couple of positions. It could have been a really strong finish, but Capo will definitely be someone we'll be, I don't know, welcoming onto the podium more than once this season for sure. Maybe the potential for a few race wins as well. So Tony Louise watching from Australia, a Capo fan as well. We'd love to see that. As we head then around the final few corners, takes a couple of laps to get the tyres warm. They only have 3 sets of tyres for the whole weekend, so ultimately you use 1 set of tyres for the free practice sessions, which is on Fridays, and then on Saturday you'd use 1 set for qualifying and the race. And then for Sunday, you could use an old set for the start of qualifying, just get used to the track temperature, and then bolt on that fresh set that you've got left behind. But as you can see, Vivacqua there is just weaving down the start-finish straight. We just saw there JP Southern, who actually qualified in that top 3 yesterday. He was 3rd and finished in 3rd in the number 77, just up ahead there. Salonen does take provisional pole. It's a 57.7. We absolutely will see a 41 here in qualifying, so the times really aren't too much to write home about. It is all about making sure you get the tyres in a decent range and indeed you feel comfortable, and then right at the death you put in your absolute flyer, hopefully scoring points for the championship, hopefully feeling good about yourself going into this afternoon's race, the final race of the weekend for the DTM Trophy as well. So here we go, on board with Salonen. Of course, quicker through sector number 1, as you would expect. Is today the day that Salonen opens his account in terms of top 3s on the start grid. It's a good middle sector as well, compared to what he's done previously. Again, can't write too much about it as it stands. It's very early in the session. Right now, Salonen, Pitamba, Hoffman, Vivacqua, Papadopoulos and Southern are all on fast laps here. We have got Kauhaupt, Almeida. We've also got Regal and Hanke all on out laps, and then everybody else is in the pits. So it's still not a lot of movement happening down in that pit lane. People will be trying to get out as soon as possible. Salonen will be the first driver to indeed finish 2 laps. And across the line we go, and it's a 44.96. A modest time for sure. And pretty sure that will be beaten. It already has been. So Papadopoulos has just produced a 44.3. Track temperature, by the way, 35.6. It is very warm here today at the Lausitzring, that's for sure. Vivacqua in P3, then a 45.1. We know what he is capable of from what we saw yesterday. Pitamba and Hoffman, the Haider Motorsport trio, are 3rd, 4th, and indeed 5th position. And for anybody new to this championship, there is an individual championship. Of course, we know what that means. That means if you get the most points, you are the champion of the DTM Trophy 2022. But there is also a team championship as well. And basically, your top 2 drivers, if you have 2 drivers, obviously Tim Heinemann is on his own with the Toyota team, the Ring Racing team. So all the points he gets is indeed going to go towards a team total, his own total. But if you have more than 2 drivers, there are Haider Motorsport with 3, for instance. FK Performance have got themselves 4 drivers. Only the top 2 scorers in the race count towards your team total. So hopefully that bit of housekeeping helps you all enjoy the show just that little bit more. Papadopoulos still the fastest out there, 44.3, still nowhere near the halfway point of the session, still half the grid yet to leave the pit lane. Who are we supporting this weekend then? If you're watching on YouTube right now, you can let me know in the GB broadcast. Let me know who you're supporting this weekend. Maybe you haven't got a favourite driver yet. Maybe you're just supporting a number, maybe it's just supporting a manufacturer. But yeah, let me know in the chat. 43.278 is the quickest time. And actually was beaten straight away once again by Papadopoulos, but not by a lot at all. It's by 0.003 of a second. But then Vivacqua, that is a good time. A 41.340 is absolutely a time that will be challenged for sure and probably will be beaten. But it's one of those times that will be very handy come the end of this session. Here's Theo Overhaus then. Performed relatively well in the BMW yesterday. We'll be expecting a little bit more from himself today for sure. Still only 6 times in. JP Southern, who again was on the podium yesterday, finds himself in the pits without putting a time in. Kauhaupt produces a time. Hanke is now put a time in, so is Regal, all of them in the 50s. So again, around about 10, 15 seconds off of the pace as it stands. Charmone supporting Mikael Pitamba. Someone who's got faster and faster as the weekend has progressed. I'm excited to see how well he gets on during this season. Of course, there's a massive South African following in the DTM with the Van der Linde brothers. Of course, Sheldon getting a victory yesterday and pole position today. Kelvin battling for the championship last season. 2 of the very best GT drivers out there. And well, Pitamba's got 2 exceptional drivers to look up to right on his own doorstep for the season. So yeah, exciting to see that. Where can I get a decent pink shirt? Let's not trigger too many people today, Michael. Okay, let's not trigger too many people, shall we? I'm certainly not selling mine. Vivacqua across the line. It's a 41.216. It's quicker again, and it was a grey first sector and indeed a grey third sector as well. Vivacqua, I think, is a very special talent indeed here, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday just proved he was able to hang with Tim Heinemann for about 15 minutes, where the Toyota is genuinely the fastest car here this weekend, for sure. He was able to hang within 2 seconds of him for 15 minutes. Or maybe even longer than that. It might have been 20, 25 minutes. And then Tim Heinemann just kind of broke him a little bit near the end of the race. But he's finished P2 in his debut. Qualified P2 on his debut. Never been in this car before. So imagine what it's going to be like when Vivacqua is absolutely comfortable with the car. As Cowhaupt then goes up to P2, a 41.520. The BWT Muka Motorsport team, both drivers qualified relatively well yesterday, 4th and 5th, but dropped back early in the race, managed to try and nearly get back up to where they started from. So again, I think they may have been trying to leave something out there a little bit, and maybe expected the tyres to drop off a little bit more than they actually did. So expect them to be a little bit more aggressive from the outset. Jan Simnasha supporting Fiat Uverhaus. Love that. So still Vivacqua that leads the way then. Salon then in the pits, who is third. Papadopoulos with that 43.241 has improved. As Henkefend, who's done very little this weekend, coming up from the BMW M2 series last season, the champion, in fact. We're expecting maybe a little bit more from him. But I tell you what, he might have saved the best till Super Sunday. Across the line we're about to go, and Luca, well, he might be able to take pole position here. So Henkefend, oh, it's only P3, so I'm not too sure what's happened in the middle and the third sector. It's a good time all the same. 0.3 of a second off of the pace. But finally, Henkefend has found a little bit of his talent there for sure, and he's absolutely involved there. As Karasani, talking to BMW M2 drivers, Karasani, who's been promoted up to this series as well, has just gone provisional pole, a 41.2. Another driver that yesterday, unfortunately, DNF'd. He was our only DNF. But today has definitely found something. 7 minutes, 30 seconds to go as Regal goes up to P3. 7 minutes, 30 seconds to go, ladies and gentlemen, and things are getting very spicy. Almeida from Mozambique then up into 6th position. Lots of 41s being produced here. We are definitely going to see a 40. Things are very much spicing up here. That is Colin Karasani there on your screen. It wasn't Southern at all. Southern's in an Audi. JP Southern, who again qualified in the top 3 yesterday, is green right now. Henkefend, Lewis Henkefend is also green. Times are absolutely tumbling here. Vivacqua across the line does not improve. Oh no, has improved. So 41.216 now, 0.6 of a second between the front two. I feel like I'm getting a little bit overexcited. I feel like this is a slow burner. We are going to be in for a worldie of a finish in this session for sure. So we've got Monkey Luffy then supporting Speed Monkeys. As Cowhaupt then moves up into a top 3. Very good time indeed. Although it hasn't been... Yeah, it hasn't quite been responded to there. Well, there we go. So Cowhaupt has indeed moved up, but then Regal chucks himself straight back in there as Almeida goes provisional pole. 41.156. So now the BWT team have got 2 drivers into the top 5 here. Project One have got 2 drivers in the top 6. Hyder Motorsport have got a P3 as it stands, and a bit further down, Sophie Hoffman's the next driver for Hyder Motorsport. So for the team championship, it's looking good for the likes of indeed Project One and BWT. Kuss Team Bernard currently 7th and 8th position, but we're on board with Capo here. A driver who I believe is going to get faster and faster and faster once he gets the hang of this car. He says the car's a little bit slicker through a straight line now, a little bit quicker in a straight line, should I say. Well, there you go. The proof is in the pudding, ladies and gentlemen, and Capo is eating. 140.745, that is provisional pole by 0.4 of a second. That is an incredible lap time. As across the line then, Sophie Hoffman will go. No improvement by the looks of things as Overhaus moves up into P9. So there is the improvement from Theo Overhaus. And the times are starting to tumble here. 4 minutes 25 seconds to go. And Tim Heinemann is yet to put a time in. He's only P18. But yesterday we saw him absolutely wait right till the end and then produce something that, well, nobody expected. It was 0.8 of a second clear of everybody. Capo is purple through sector number 1. Folev is currently green, same as Fulgencio. As Heinemann comes in towards turn number 2. And the car looks a little bit more unsettled today. There's no success ballast in qualifying. You only get that in the race. Hanker moves down to 13. Sallon then moves up to 12th position there. Southern moves into P9. Tim Heinemann's purple through sector number 1. Capo has just had his purple sector taken away from him in sector 1, but he absolutely backs it up through sector number 2. The number 26 then rounds that final corner, gets as close to the wall as possible. Oh, turns it in nice and deep here. It looked like he was going very slow there, but he is not going slow. Tim Heinemann now takes the purple middle sector as well. Across the line for Capo. Is he going to improve on his time? He does. It's a 140.551. He is 0.6 of a second faster than everybody here, but Tim Heinemann is flying behind him. The Toyota then rounds that final corner as well on the power as early as possible with that race room badge on the back of the car. The longest team name in the history of motorsport. Tim Heinemann driving forward on the number 90. Across the line we will go. We're about to see a quicker time than a 40.5, I believe. And what does he produce here? It is a 40.26. It's an incredible time. Tim Heinemann then does indeed head towards pole position. Cowhelp still in 6th position. The gaps are massive now. So nearly 0.3 of a second between Heinemann and Capo. Vivacqua in P3 as it stands. Only 2 minutes left on the clock here. Salonen is green, but currently is only in P13. Southern, who qualified P3 yesterday, is green in the first sector. It's not good in the middle sector for the number 77 in the Audi. Heinemann is not going faster through sector number 1. So this might be a lap where it's just chill out, get the tyres back into a decent temperature range, and then push one final time. Or he feels like it's good enough. If he feels like this lap's good enough, he will absolutely bring that car in, and he will try and have the best tyres possible for the race. So it remains to be seen what we are going for in terms of strategy. Lots of Capo fans in the chat, really excited by his performance here. Great to see. Again, feel free to shout about your favourite driver in the chat. I'll shout you out. We're a team here. We love to get involved with the people watching at home. So Morris Lohner, this is not Morris Lohner, this is JP Southern. The number 77 has crossed the line, will be P7, and we'll be expecting a lot more, to be completely honest. Morris Lohner, who's P20 right now, he was in the same position yesterday with 1 minute to go, managed to move up to P16, then moved up to P10 in the last 2 attempts. He's about to come across the line himself. He's gone green through the first 2 sectors, as you would expect, being 7.2 seconds off of the pace. And actually, it was Overhaus that was the lead BMW yesterday. Right now, it is Colin Carasani. Across the line then for Morris Lohner, it is a 1:42.5, but he's actually moved into 16th again. So you can probably guarantee he's going to go up into 10th position now. Exactly the same as yesterday. Glovens, the Yaris GT3. Nice. Imagine the scenes. Solona, up on his time again in sector number 1. Again, currently 2 seconds off the pace. Needs something magical here. And Karasani, P6 still. 7 seconds left on the clock, so has crossed the line. All good to go. One more attempt here. If you cross the line before it heads to 0, you are good to cross the line. The checker flag is now out. And Capo will not be able to improve, neither will Vivacqua. So Heinemann, unless someone can improve by 0.8 of a second, will be on pole position for the second race in a row. But remember, he will have success ballast on his car for the race, whereas Capo will not. Vivacqua will. And so will Southern, who's currently in P7. So Heinemann's still out there. Lona is green through sector number 2 as well. If you offered him to be the quickest BMW in this session, right now, he absolutely snaps your hand off. In that media-marked number 11. With VRS on the side. Moritz Lona, around the final corner he will go. And how quick do you want to be? What position are you in? We're about to find out then. Across the line for Moritz Lona, one of the last drivers to cross the line. As you see the checkered flag, and it is good enough for P12, so he will be very disappointed with that, to be completely honest. He knows that, but I'm sure he will come back stronger for sure. As Heinemann is in the pits, he's done. He's very, very happy with his lap time. A 1:40.267. Yeah, today's going to be a good day for Tim Heinemann, but again, he's going to be slower when it comes to the race than he was yesterday, and that should hurt his tyres a bit more as well. As we still have cars coming across the line. Any potential position changes, doesn't look like we will see it. No, Regal will not improve on a position either. Fulgencio is not going to improve on their position by the looks of things as well. No, 2 slower sectors here. Well, there you go. P3 is going to go to Vivacqua. That's going to be 1 point for the Brazilian to add to his championship total. And if you can continue to score points in every qualifying session and every race, you are in a great spot. Capo, he felt confident this morning. He said if he can get out ahead of anybody, it's only him making a mistake that will indeed lose him the race or a position. So if he can get out into the lead of the race, expect Capo to be very strong as a front runner. Tim Heinemann, well, he absolutely picked up from where he left off. He is pole position for race number 2 this weekend. We're going to be back live, local time, 15:15 in the afternoon. In the UK, it'll be 2:15 p.m. and in the USA, it'll be 5 hours prior to that. Look forward to seeing you all on YouTube and wherever you're watching around the world. DTM Trophy Race 2 live for you this afternoon.